We had that surgery. Just got check on him.
Have not had the surgery.
Get that gavel, let's roll.
Trying to get it scheduled.
I think the road remained the same.
Where it was.
Judge Judy has something to
But we can talk about that now.
We'd like to call this commission clerk, this commission meeting to order.
Get one of the members from there.
Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Dominic, Johnson, Williams, Lynn, Bowden, Baker, Lynch, Escadade, Thibodeau, Cox, Smith, Epperson.
Yeah.
We have a quorum, Madam President.
Okay, thank you. Let us all stand for prayer from Reverend Sims out of Oil City and the pledge in unison.
Let's pray. Merciful God, we come this evening thanking you for your blessings. Thank you for this wonderful organization, the country, even in turmoil that we're in. We thank you for this great nation. Thank you for those who have come together this evening to devote their conscience and minds in manners that pleases you. We pray that you would touch and lead and guide as only you can. In the precious name of our Lord Christ, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please say the pledge in unison.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Justice. Pitching on. Rubbing off. Next item is...
Next, we have agenda additions.
No agenda additions.
Next, we move to citizen comments. I have no cards.
I have 4.
You have 4 cards?
Yes.
Are they regular cards or for public hearing?
Dawson Road Extension,
Okay, that's
is
regular
that
cards then.
regular card?
It's regular code.
Okay, and yeah, all of it. Okay. First, we have Miss Laura Timberlake. Hi, Miss Timberlake. Please state your name and address for the record.
Hello, my name is Laura Timberlake. I live at 3718 Dawson Road, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71119. To all of the commissioners, I'm here to speak on behalf of the residents of Dawson Road. My husband and I purchased property on Dawson Road 50 years ago, and at that time we were promised that Dawson Road would be opened to the Greenwood Road. We were told that it's on the section line, and that would be no problem because it already had been taken care of. Most of you probably weren't even born at that time. But we're still waiting for that to happen. So we're here today appealing to your caring and your concern for the safety of the citizens that live on Dawson Road. Of course, you know we are tax-paying citizens, and we desire that you would look carefully at funding for this project. We've been waiting a long time. I walked through water waist deep to get to work because the road was flooded. I've left home to go to church, could not get back to my road. I had to drive over to a neighbor's house and wait till the water receded to get back to my house because there's only one way in and one way out. Now we know that we have the gas wells all around us, and we are very concerned about explosions because they do happen, and we want you to be concerned. We're appealing to your concern and your caring for people that care and love Caddo Parish, Louisiana, and our wonderful country, the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss. Next we have Miss Timberlake. Next we have Cassandra Attaway.
I remember that night.
Good afternoon.
Please state your name and address.
My name is Cassandra Ann Allen Harper, 3660 Dawson Road. That's Shreveport, Louisiana, 71119. I represent our community also, and I want to speak to the commissioners. You all doing a good job, but please help us. Incident 2005, 2000. 2008, before my parents were deceased. They lived there, and I live in the home that in the resident of them, Arthur Allen Sr., Willie B. Allen. They also were neighbors of the Timberlakes. What I want to say, and it's no more than to say we need an extension because incidents happened before, whereas there was an older man that just died at 102, last name Pettyway. He had a heart attack in my father's garden, which was Greens at the time. They didn't have any way to get him, only through a helicopter. What if we had an extension? The ambulance could have gotten to him quicker. We had a flood. Thank God I was there with my parents at the time. I couldn't get in or out, but I was there for their needs. Also, if there become a fire, we can't go toward the Jefferson Page, so we need an extension out. The last meeting, we were told if someone would volunteer their property, like Dr. Bickham. First he said no, but he said yes now. The Dawson agreed to give part of their right-of-way on their property for an extension out. And I would like to know what's the holdup. Should I say any more? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Harper. We'd like to take this time to say hello to our state representative, Representative Barbara Norton. Thank you so much for coming to visit with us today. Okay. Next, we have Ms. Dolores Joseph. Ms. Joseph, please state your name and address for the record. Pull the mic down, please.
My name is Dolores Joseph. I live at 3790 Dawson Road, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71119. My concern is also about the concern about the Dawson Road going over to the Greenwood Road. My first experience with it was one of my grandkids had seizures, and this child laid on the floor. I know a good 20 to 30 minutes or longer, the first one she had. Then she started having them back to back, and then we got flooded in. The paramedics had to go all the way around, then come into, when that bridge was flooded out down there, they couldn't get through. And I feel like if they could let that road go all the way through to the Greenwood Road, it'll be cheaper, because easier to get to us on Dawson Road, because rather than to come all the way around to get to Dawson Road. And the next thing it angered me, because it took so long for paramedics to get there. Then the next thing, about 3 months ago, I had a heat, whatever you call it, in my house, and I was home by myself with nobody in the neighborhood or nothing. I called, and it taken them forever to get there. I was home by myself with none of my neighbors home or nobody. I was the only somebody in that neighborhood that day. I was scared. When they got there, my blood pressure had went up real high. I stayed in the hospital 5 days. But I feel like that's a long time to lay there sick or whatever the case might be, waiting on paramedics, when I feel like if this road go all the way to the Greenwood Road, paramedics wouldn't have to come all the way around to get to us in our neighborhood. And the flooding, my house is water damaged now, and I'm having trouble from the last water that backed up there, right there in that, on Dawson Road there by the mailbox. And my house is ruined, that end of my house, and I'm having trouble with my insurance to pay for it. But, they finally sent me a check, but it was illegal, so I might be going to jail for fraud. Because I put it in the bank and I signed it, and I started paying my bills, and I started buying material to fix my house. And when that flood did come through there, I called and asked because half of my driveway is washed out now. So I never got a response to that either. So that's my concern. And my main concern is medical, because everybody up in our neighborhood is old people
Yes, ma'am.
and wheelchair bound and all of that. That's my main concern, is that certify go through. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hello. Joseph. Next, we have Mr. Otis Dawson.
Good evening.
Steve.
My name is
Please.
Otis Dawson. I live at 6943 Carcat Road, Keithville, 71047. I grew up on Dawson Road. I'm still a property owner on Dawson Road. It's a hardship to getting in and out on Dawson Road. I can tell you something happened some time ago. A man by the name of Elmo Johnson lived on Dawson Road. It was flooded on Dawson Road. He couldn't get in. They sent a helicopter in to get him off Dawson Road. It's been a hardship on Dawson Road for a long time. And whatever you all can do, please take it under consideration, whatever you can do. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all, Mr. Clerk.
All right, next we move to visitors. We have none, no special resolutions, communiques, and reports.
Mr. Johnson.
We did have the NGO meeting today that the committee made a recommendation for 2014 appropriation.
Thank you. Anyone else? Commissioner Epperson.
I want to ask administration, I understand that our information tech person has resigned.
Yes, sir.
Am I correct? Okay. I was sort of alarmed by some correspondence that I got relative to the Chamber of Commerce stated taking a position relative to an item that we have on the ballot. And I just want to say that I would like to, I think they sent us a newsletter or something. So could you have IT to block that off of my, my K. Epperson at caddo.org? I'd hate to be wasting that bandwidth. Also, on Monday, October the 14th, 2013, from 6:30 until 8 o'clock p.m. at the West Shreveport Branch Library, 4380 Pines Road, Shreveport, Louisiana. I'll be hosting an election and affordable health care informational meeting. The purpose will be to provide information to items on the upcoming October 19th, 2013 election, and also to provide information regarding the Affordable Health Care Act. Some of the participants that will be there to provide information to the citizens will be Caddo Community Action Agency. David Raines Community Health Center has been invited. Blue Cross Blue Shield representatives invited. And any groups that are representing implementation of the Affordable Health Care Act are welcome to attend. Also, we have a live broadcast on 980 FM KOKA hosted by State Representative Barbara Norton with the show Helping Others by Caring. We also ask that any political candidates or any person that are advocates of any issues that will be on the October 19th election, you're welcome to come and pass out your literature and meet the persons that is there. It's free and open to the entire general public. Thank you.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'd like to ask this city and this nation and this parish and these citizens to pray for our country, considering what's going on in Washington. It threatens our national security with the distraction, the division, and the drama going on in Congress. We may not always agree, but there are little people that's been laid off, 800 people. They're a family. There's been a shooting on the news today. A woman ran a car into a fence at the White House. I think someone was shot. We get to the point, I know that we should be a lot leaner in America how we spend the government money, but we shouldn't be mean. We done got to the point where we got away from democracy and got away from what democracy is all about. Governing is not like this in America. It's wrong. So I ask that we would pray for our nation from the inside out, because we're better than this. And I hope that that Congress would break from the party and the meanness and the gridlock and the compromise. We have to make concessions in this country. We don't always agree up here, but I don't think we're going to do what they're doing in Washington. It's broken. It needs to be fixed, and only God can change it. Second, I would ask that also, Ken Epperson, we echo what you said about a community meeting. We have one at the Allendale Lakeside Liberty Heights Partnership at the Good Samaritan Funeral Home on Laura Street on Monday, October 7th at 5:30 p.m. We will also be discussing the election coming up to pass the bond issue and also the other thing that on the ballot as well. So I'm asking that my colleagues come out, that the community come out at large support, and hope that we can talk about the upcoming election, the other thing that's going on, not only just in the community, but in America as well. The problem that manifests here manifests all over the country. So if we truly want to be one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all, we should unite together on one cause, bringing this country back together. Thank you.
Commissioner Eskeday.
The Special Projects Committee met today at 2 o'clock discussing capital project proposals for 2014 year budget. Many of the items were discussed, questions asked and answered, and at this point we have made no recommendation. We're still in the discovery process. Thank you.
Commissioner Epperson.
Yes, Madam Chair, I'd like to mention that the persons that spoke relative to the Dawson Road extension are my constituents in District 12. Since I've been elected, they're going on 7 years now. This has been an issue that's been on the table. I love the participation that they are involved in the community. They have valid concerns. When we need them, they answer the call, and I want to let them know that we are working diligently on this issue. I applaud Jimmy Whittington and Mr. Glass, who we've been tossing this around for a long time, and I think we're at the point in time to where this can no longer be put on the back burner. You all heard where the length of time that those persons have been within that area, and this is just a handful. There are a number of streets that's located within that particular area. Not only there, but on up Jefferson Page Road, Clem Street, Jolly Napier, States Oil Road. Within the last 2 years, we had 4 homes to burn completely down off of Jolly Napier. You all know that we were delayed with the grant to get a fully staffed fire station located at the intersection of Lakeshore Drive and Jolly Napier, but due to the budget constraints in Baton Rouge, that's been delayed. So we finally, I think, got that grant through, and Chief Mitchell is working on trying to bring that particular fire station into fruition on that end. However, it would cut down response time tremendously because they have to come from Caddo Fire District 3, which is located in Greenwood. And that affects our rates on our property insurance, just as Ms. Joseph stated, and I see that as well. I tried to get new insurance on my policy this year, and because of the distance that it's located from Caddo Fire District 3, couldn't get a better rate. So I will be asking my colleagues to address this issue in the 2014's budget, and I just don't think that this should be delayed any longer. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you have something?
Yeah, I want to speak on the road. When I saw these, Madam Chairman, these senior citizens, these lifelong residents of Caddo Parish who have been paying taxes for many, many years, may not amount to what the project may be worth, but there shouldn't be a price tag on the quality of life. You know, being a former Shreveport firefighter, I know the importance of time. 2 to 3 minutes can be the life or death of someone, depends on the illness that they're having. To be locked in and not having the access and the ability to get a fire truck or emergency vehicle or police car to a particular community that to go miles and miles around. It's a matter of life. So we need to put ourselves in those people's shoes. Will we want this in our community? Will we want this for our grandmother? Will we want this for our children? Will we want this for in our community? So I think that we should look at what we would do if we was in that situation. It's about the quality of life and the quantity of life, and also the property value. You put a nice road, an infrastructure road, and the property value go up, you can build more homes, you can develop around that road. So not only it's about the quality of life, but it's about the development of that community as well. And we all should be supporting Commissioner Epperson, but most of all supporting the people that came out. They came out and voiced their concern. They did it collectively. And I want to commend them for coming down, voicing their concern before this body. This is the way government works. They need to hear from the people. If we don't hear from them, we don't know what's going on. So I'm good to see you engage in conversation and communication on this body. Talk about the plight and the concerns in your community. And this is surely a concern, the Commissioner said, been going on for years. And here again, I would say that let's try to make it safe more than anything. If we just save one life, that'll be worth the value and the price tag we put into this investment for this capital project. So I will be supporting it and ask all of my colleagues to the wise wisdom how we should support it and get it done. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Anyone else? Just want to make an announcement. In District 6, we have two town meetings, the October 15th, one at 5 and one at 6, and talking about the bond issue that's coming up, and explaining to the constituents what the bond issue is about. So if you're not busy, you can come out and share with us.
Where's it located?
One is going to be at the A.B. Palmer Park Care Group building in Cedar Grove. The other one is going to be at the Hollywood Branch Library in Hollywood, on Hollywood Avenue, Precinct 38. Commissioner Cox?
Hello.
Hello.
For everyone who's having meetings in their districts, I know Tim does, shoot us an email.
Okay.
And that way, you know, we can write it down here, but piece of paper gets washed in the washer. We can't read it, but if you would, that way. Also, I would like to tell the board that I am having some problems, but I have missed a couple of meetings, and we'll be having surgery probably in 2 weeks. So I'll be out maybe 2 weeks. So I'll keep y'all informed.
Glad to have you back. We'll go call you, man.
Don't come sick.
Does anyone else have anything? Next item is
Anything else on the President's report?
just want to remind the commissioners of the Economic Development Summit, also Tuesday, October 15th at 9 a.m. at the Intertech Biospace. I think y'all got a flyer on it earlier this week, so looking forward to y'all coming out. Commissioner Epperson?
Madam Chair, I think we're in the process of scheduling a trip to Austin.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'd just like to say my reason really was not being able to attend. You know, the Veterans Parade celebration culminates, and we're going to be quite busy through that weekend, you know, sitting up and then tearing down. So
Okay.
I just want November the 10th is the culmination of the Veterans Parade.
I eat your portion of the food. I eat.
Okay, thank you,
Feeling on gaming today.
Commissioner Escaday?
Well, is that a firm date, Todd, or do we have any flexibility in that, or does that just seem like when they could host us, or?
After discussions with the business office there at UT, that day seems to work best. Now, it can be changed around if needed. We can travel on different dates. I mean, we really have to set everything up with Dr. Butler and his group.
I know that's the weekend of the Cowboys-Saints game, as well as Alabama and LSU game.
Y'all better do some switching.
Oh, well, that right there is reason to cancel.
Good reason.
Okay, I'll talk to you about trying to explore some other dates, because I think it's important that I know Mr. Epperson's interested, and I think everybody is in this, that everybody see
That's the end.
what Austin has done in developing and growing their economy and keeping their startup businesses there and creating wealth within their own community instead of, you know, being just a platform or a stop-off point as Shreveport is for people to take their ideas and go somewhere else and leave the community. So I'll talk to you about that. Thank you.
Anyone else? Next item.
Next, we need to adopt the minutes of the regular meeting held on September the 19th.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Dominic. Is there any discussion? Please vote.
After this.
Okay. That passes. Next item.
Next, we move to public hearings on ordinances, but I think we have
Yeah,
a,
we have Commissioner Epperson.
I'd like to make a motion, if I could, to advance the resolutions, which would encompass resolution number 62 of 2013, and the new business, which is to discuss resolution number 12 of 2013, which I had put on the agenda. I have to be at a state association meeting in Bastrop for 6 o'clock. If I could get a second.
Second. Been moved and second to advance resolution number 62 and the new business discussion. Is there any discussion? If none, please vote. To move it, yeah. Move it up. Okay, Commissioner, Clerk.
okay, so next we'll move to resolutions then. Resolution number 62 of 2013, urging and requesting public and private health care providers to provide information to their patients regarding affordable care and health insurance marketplace.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Epperson, second by Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'd like to state that there are 794,805 Louisiana's persons that would have access to affordable care to provide the implementation of this. There'll be 53,000 young adults that can stay on their parents' insurance until the age of 26. There will be Medicare savings that will be enhanced by this Affordable Health Care Act. That could save Louisianans $105 million in prescription drugs alone. There are 1,951,886 non-elderly Louisianians with pre-existing conditions, including 265,555 Louisiana children with pre-existing conditions that will be insured. Realizing that our governor and I think the legislature had voted in favor of denying participation in the Affordable Care Act, but my personal opinion, I just think it's atrocious, and I wouldn't ask anyone else to do anything that I would not do. I will be hosting meetings within my community to ensure that my constituents are getting factual information relative to implementation of the Affordable Health Care Act. So I ask that you would again join me in supporting this resolution. All we asking is maybe if I went to my doctor for my 6-month visit yesterday. They had 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper up on the desk. Something as simple as that, with the 1-800 number and the www.healthcare.gov. Plain and simple, because there are going to be questions. And one thing we got to realize, it is the law. I don't care what happened. It is the law. It will be funded because it's automatic. It's in. No sequester or shutdown can stop the implementation. Of course, we had some negative things that happened yesterday as far as the website crashing, people stating that they had problems on it. But guess what? I tried to access our website last night, and I think I emailed Mr. Hopkins and told him, and he wrote me back this morning and said our server crashed. So you can imagine what will happen on a new launch of something of this magnitude with millions of people trying to get on there. So I ask for your support of this measure. Thank you.
Commissioner Escudé.
Mr. Jefferson, I would guess if our server crashed, it wasn't because people were trying to get on it. It was just some kind of technical glitch.
What they say, things happen.
Things happen. I'm going to support this because I think information is vital, and I see nothing wrong with asking people for information. and I know everybody's got varying opinions about it, and I've studied it. The only thing that is going to really be, I think, affordable about the Affordable Health Care Act that people are going to find out is the premiums for a lot of people on the low end. But then when they deal with those $10,000 deductibles for the low premiums and have to pay 20% of reasonable and customary charges, that's when the real numbers comes in. And I think a certain amount of the population who's been used to being able to go to university health, for example, and having all of that debt forgiven, are going to have a rude awakening when they're going to be dogged and billed for that 20%. I think most insurance is a scam, and I don't care whether it's government sponsored or not. If you think about what they did to a lot of, over the last 10 years, of the Medicare patients, the retired people, they signed up for Medicare, and then they went out with these Blue Cross and Humana, these super supplements instead of the regular Blue Cross supplement, these things in lieu of Medicare, and it was worse because Medicare and a good supplement usually paid about 100%, but they were sold a false bill of goods that this was going to be some super policy in lieu of the regular Medicare provider as primary insurance, and then they get out there and they find out they've got to pay that 20%. So the only people in this going to make money are the insurance companies and the attorneys. Sorry, Doug. But, and you can bet that the people always left on the short end of the stick are the physicians and the consumers. So I hope it works out, and I'm all for getting everybody all the information that they can get. Thank you.
Mr. Williams?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. This has been a long time overdue for the American citizens that don't have health care. The glitch in the system has been the glitch that people don't have health care, not the glitch in the computer. There was a fight over Social Security and Medicare for years. It's nothing unusual that occurring before us. Louisiana had Le CHIP and Le CHIP, senior health insurance, and they have children's health insurance. But because of what has happened at the mansion, he decided not to participate in Obamacare. If it was good for Massachusetts under Mitt Romney, why can't it be good for America? I think knowing that someone had preconditions and couldn't get insurance, and now they can, that's a better quality of life for them, that they have hope, that they won't be turned down because of their precondition, or the children or the senior citizens who has no problem. Now they can. Also what it does is make participate in the fair marketplace. Well, they can go get insurance, hundreds and hundreds of insurance providers where they can almost pay a premium of $20, $35, or $40, but they got insurance. That's the most beautiful thing in this country that could have been done, that Congress has done together. And it's a shame that all the misinformation being put out about affordable health care and Obamacare, and I think it's wrong. You're dividing this country over Obamacare. Is it about the care, or is it about the man who wrote the program or who came up with the idea? Here again, I've never seen a president have to go through what this president went through. America ought to be ashamed of itself. No other president had to endure what this president had to endure. We got away from diplomacy, we got away from democracy, we got away even from the political process, and we made it personal. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that, but it is what it is. That's why this country needs healing and it needs praying. That's the only thing gonna help us. But in the meantime, there are people dying right now that don't have health care. And now they can get it. And I think it's the best thing that could have happened to America. So hope that all the glitches be worked out. Anything new, you're gonna have problems and glitches. However, it's gonna be worked out. So I commend what the president and this Congress has done. They've done something good. They provided health care for all Americans in this country, 20 million people that didn't have health care. And Ken Epperson stated the statistics here in Louisiana that don't have it. That saves the quality of life, that help reduce the deficit. When people are healthy, they get preventive care, preventive maintenance. That means that reduce the health care costs in America. People be living longer. How can you say that's not good? It's not right for the world to have the best doctor, and you decide somebody poor don't have the money, that they should die because they don't have money, because they have pre-consistent addiction. That is wrong. Because you have the money, you can go to the best doctor. You telling someone because you don't have no money that you got pre-existing condition, that you ought to die. What kind of country we live in? That is wrong. So I say that I hope this Obamacare would not divide us, but unite us on what is good. See, let's see, does it work? If it don't work, then we go back to the table and start all over again. But in the meantime, give it a chance. All right? Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Cox?
I would ask that if you're reading the information on the healthcare and looking to get in one of the programs, please consult with your family members as far as which plan you need to get into. There's, I think, silver, gold, platinum, and something else, bronze. My son was shopping for insurance this past week, and when the president said that you can get health care for about the same price you pay for a cell phone bill, I hate to tell him that's wrong. He got quotes from $400 to $600 a month. Okay, so whatever you read, please make sure you consult your family members, do it as a group, and get the best plan possible for yourself. That way you won't put yourself in a bind. This is new. This is probably going to be here for a long time, and I guess you wasn't around for the Clinton years because he was in just as much trouble as anybody else. But this is probably going to help a lot of people. Just make sure that when you go for the plan, make sure what you're getting and get it in writing, and then consult your own physicians if you have some before you get that plan taken. Simply because you got till November, I think the 15th. November 15th is the cutoff. I would suggest everybody start calling their doctor offices to consult them. They have what they call a administrator in most doctor offices that will help you out through this. I commend Mr. Epperson and anybody else who's having forums to help their communities out, because this is going to be new. We'll just have to see how it shakes out, but before you just sign on that dotted line, I ask everybody to look at what you're getting and get with your loved ones first. Thank you.
Commissioner Lynch?
Yes, I just want to clarify, it's a 6-month sign-up period. I'm not sure what
March
the...
31st.
October
Yeah.
1st to March 31st.
March 31st, 2014.
Yeah.
So it's not November. Just
Yeah.
want to be sure it's
They
a
were saying on
6-month.
CNN November 15th about
months.
something.
Till March
That
31st.
must be
That's
Fox.
why I'm having that meeting.
Absolutely. We want to make sure.
Doesn't your coverage through the exchange not begin until January 1st, regardless of when you sign up? I think that's the January 1st where that date comes in. You sign up now, your coverage will start January 1st, but you have till March to enroll.
Correct.
Please, utilize the website, healthcare.gov, which explains all that and gives all the dates. And certainly, I want to commend President Obama. This is a hallmark piece of legislation that is going to help a lot of Americans. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and one of the provisions of the Affordable Care Act is that mammograms and other preventive care is included. So, that's going to be very helpful to women in particular, and as well as some of the other care that you get without a copay, that you'll be able to have just some preventive care. And as a parish, we spend, I think, about $4 million on insurance. We only have about 400 employees, so it is very expensive. It is something that is needed, and this will allow more people to have that opportunity. So, thank you.
Commissioner Epperson?
That's all.
Okay. Please vote. That passes. Next item.
Next, we move to new business, discuss approved resolution 12 of 2013 urging the governor of the state of Louisiana to take all necessary steps for the state of Louisiana to participate fully in the Affordable Care Act.
Commissioner Epperson?
Okay, this is in reference to resolution number 12 of 2013, which this body approved. However, I think what the intent was is that they participate in the exchange where he would accept the Medicaid portion. You know that we're spinning off all of the hospitals basically within the state, that state-run to private. So probably 40 to 45% of the persons that are going to patronize our that patronize our state hospitals initially, and probably the one that's been privatized will be indigent and the poor. So I think the formula for that was, I think 90% will be paid for by the federal government and 10% by the states. Now I would think that would help these new hospitals that's spinning off into privatization tremendously to have some funding. Because it's my understanding that I believe we may be a little short in the initial stepping for University Medical Center as to, I think, what was stated in the state. I think it was maybe about $41 million or something like that, and I think they're going to be in the 30s. So we passed this initially, and I just asked that you would maybe individually contact Governor Jindal by writing, and the legislators that chose not to participate in this 90-10 venture, and ask them to please do so in behalf of all of the indigent persons in Louisiana that will be utilizing those facilities because of their income status. So that was reason for that, just to rediscuss that we had passed this resolution and that we would refocus and ask him once again. If you notice, there's a number of conservative or Republican governors and states that was against the proposal initially, and they have accepted it. So I'm just asking that we do what's in the best interest of our citizens, the one that's in need, and that we would urge our governing legislature to participate in that Medicaid portion of the Affordable Care Act. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for allowing me to change the agenda. I'm going to have to be in Bastrop for 6 o'clock p.m.
You got a helicopter waiting?
Take your time.
Be careful. Yeah.
Tell me no Mike Thibodeau.
Next, we move to the public hearing on ordinances. Ordinance number 5337 of 2013, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for the oil and gas fund and capital outlay fund in the amount of $700,000 for the construction and improvement of all city water lines that serve unincorporated areas of Caddo Parish.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of this ordinance?
Well, we got a preacher in the house. Help. Thank you, Lord.
You need all the help you can get.
Please state your name and address for the records.
He's a good preacher.
My name is Reverend James T. Sims, 136 North Atlantic Avenue, All City, Louisiana. Well, many hats in North Caddo Parish. Talk about two for a few minutes this evening here with our clerk, Melissa Louise, and we're here in support of this venture, this water venture. As I'm very sick, as some of you may know, and me, Mayor Pro Tem, I stand and voiced for the town of All City in support for what you're about to do, for what I hope you're about to do. First, I want to say thank you for just considering it. Secondly, it is a great opportunity to do something in North Caddo Parish, which is traditionally has been an economically depressed area. Interstate 49, of course, is coming north through All City, Belcher, in that area. Our plan as a town was to try to get water from All City to the area where there is no water. My second hat is I'm the senior pastor of Lake Zion Baptist Church that's located on 530 for 30 years. We've been there, and you cannot bathe in the water.
No baptism.
You can't. Yeah, we can. We have to treat it. We have to treat it just to baptize. You cannot bathe. You cannot drink it. If you don't do something to it, you can't stand to smell it. So it's what we're asking for is something that we envision doing. Asking your support to do it would bring vision to that area, because nobody, no other company, no other business are going to be attracted to an area where you don't have water. And nobody wants water that smells like a commode. Amen. Nobody wants water. Nobody wants that. So we're not here asking just for for a handout. The town of Oil City is committed to, to getting this water out to the exchange pass Interstate 49. And some would ask the question, well, why would that be necessary? Well, there's development for houses, better living conditions for people that are already there. We have about 80 people now that could actually benefit from city water, our church being one of them. People can baptize and not smell like something else when they come out of baptistery. And that's just wrong. Commissioner Williams was talking about, that's just wrong. You go in to be clean and you come out smelling. But anyway, making a long story short, we thank you for just considering it. If you have any questions about what our plans is to make this thing possible, the town has the capacity to be able to take care of the water. We are actually doing upgrades, planning upgrades to even do this and some other things. So we're willing to do our part to make this thing work. We just thank you for considering us. If you have any questions for us, then we can answer them.
We can't ask you any questions.
Okay.
Not right now.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
ask them in a minute.
Okay, but I have a map, and I can go on and on. I'm passionate. I can go on and on, but I tried to make this as brief as I could do without boring you. But it is serious.
You can.
It is serious.
I bet he can go on
It
until
is
that basket
serious.
gets right. They pass it around.
Seriously. I know Mr. Washington has been here before you to get water going north and south on Gam Road. Well, our plans is to connect to those lines and not only provide water for that area, but we're willing to waive, all of us that's already going east and west on the LA 530, we're willing to, the town is going to waive the fees and everything that it takes to get it done. We wanted to do it so bad that we're going to do what we need to do to make this happen. Thank you.
You need this to pass this around?
Thank you, Pastor.
No, we're not going to have offering today.
Thank you, Pastor Smith.
All your Dallas clothes dirty?
Is anyone
Where's
here,
your jersey?
anyone here speaking opposition? Next item.
Ordinance number 5338 of 2013, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for oil and gas fund and capital outlay fund in the amount of $612,000 for the construction and improvement of Vivian water lines that serve unincorporated areas of Caddo Parish.
Anyone here speak in favor? Dr. Taylor?
That's a doctor. You might have to work on one of
And the
y'all.
mayor.
Be careful.
My name's Stephen Taylor. I'm 1001 North Pine, Vivian, Louisiana. I'm mayor of the town of Vivian. I want to just add to James's comments that we support all of the area in northern Caddo Parish, and that we feel like this area needs to grow together. I-49 will indeed bring us all our little communities together, and we will have to be approaching all our problems in a joint way. So this is really about two water projects that are visionary for the future, because we can't afford to build something big enough to take care of all the future needs. And what y'all are proposing to do for us is enable us to make these lines bigger so that they will indeed be ready for any growth and development that can happen in the future. So we won't come back in 5 or 6 years and say, well, look, our water line's not adequate right now, because all we're putting in this first one is an 8-inch line. We're asking the parish to come and support this to be a 12-inch line, which will support growth in the future and really put us in a position to be able to bring folks to the Ward 2 Industrial Park and say, look, you're going to have enough water. And to look at development along I-49 and say, yeah, we're ready for you. So this is really an economic development project that enables us to provide infrastructure that will be adequate to meet future needs. It's a joint thing that we're all in this together. I appreciate you recognizing that we're all in this together, and I really think it's crucial to the development of the parish, the northern part of the parish, as I-49 comes into play. And we have some tools in our belt to try to recruit folks there, both to live, to work, and to bring new industry in.
Thank you.
We appreciate your consideration.
Thank you so much. Anyone here speak in opposition? Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5339, 2013, amend the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for the Economic Development Fund and the Oil and Gas Fund in the amount of $150,000 to fund I-49 corridor land use study for year 2013.
Is anyone here to speak in favor of this ordinance? Is anyone here to speak in opposition? Next item.
Ordinance number 5340 of 2013, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus and authorize the parish administrator designate to sell parish's tax interest.
Is anyone here to speak in favor of this ordinance? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5341 of 2013, deemed property surplus and authorize sale of surplus property owned by the parish of Caddo.
Is anyone here to speak in favor of this ordinance? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Next item.
That'll conclude public hearings. We move to ordinances for final passage. Ordinance number 5337 of 2013, budget estimate revenues and expenditures for oil and gas fund in the amount of $700,000 for Oil City water lines.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Dominic, second unanimously, Commissioner Lynch.
I just want to make sure the legalities on this, where are we at on that?
We're still working on it, Commissioner Lynch. We met with the mayors for both respective cities about a week ago. What we're looking at doing is, in exchange for providing for the improvement of the lines, is being able to share in the revenue and maintenance of them. And if we can get the numbers to work out, then that would be a legal way to accomplish it. So we're still working on those numbers. I've got to get with Mr. Hagan, the engineer, to see how much we're looking at and how those numbers will jive.
And where would the revenue be coming from?
The revenue would be coming from what we've discussed is persons that actually end up hooking up to these areas where the new pipe is going in that the parish is supplementing.
So that's just a one, is that a monthly, would be a monthly fee or?
It would be a monthly thing.
Oh, monthly?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And then the maintenance, what is the estimated maintenance?
Well, that's one of the numbers that I've got to get.
Okay. How does this differ from what we did in Southeast Shreveport?
When you say what you did, are you referring?
Is it Goldsberry?
Yep. What you did with Goldsberry Road is that you actually had the property owners that were fronting the improvements, or whose property fronted the improvements, actually ended up paying for 90% of that line, and the parish paid for 10%. Now here, you haven't been petitioned by any property owners, is my understanding.
Well, I mean, I understand that difference, but I'm saying as far as the paying of it, I mean, we got 90% of the money back.
Right.
In the other deal.
Right. Here, you're not looking at, the way that this is set up right now, you're not looking at getting any of the money back, is my understanding. When you look at sharing the revenues, you will be getting money back. But because you will also be a part of the system, then there will be a maintenance cost that goes with those water lines. It would be different if 90% of, or if over 60% of the property owners fronting where this is going to be going, then your 90-10 policy would kick in. But that's not how that's done.
Okay. And I know I probably missed this. What's the total price for the construction and improvement?
You mean?
The total. Is this the total we're paying for the whole thing?
No, ma'am. I defer to Mr. Ward on that, or Mr. Hagan.
The maker got this one.
Commissioner Lynch, I'd like to introduce Jim Hagan. He's the engineer for it. He'll have the exact details for the cost on it.
Jim Hagan with Baylor Engineers, 631 Milam Street, Suite 300, 71101.
Water routine. She didn't have to ask.
what we're talking about here is the parish supplementing what the towns currently have committed with their own local funds and/or state funding. The parish's contribution would be to increase the line size. At this point in time, Vivian has approximately, or has a commitment, or is committing $1.1 million toward their endeavor, and is asking the parish to participate with an additional $600,000 to increase the line size on that particular project on LA Highway 170. Oil City's project is approximately $907,000, and they are asking the parish to contribute $600,000 toward their project, which would make the total project cost $1.5 million, give or take. So the parish is actually a partner in this with the communities up there that have are making a commitment of either local funds or state funds to extend water service to those areas.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Commissioner Dominic?
Let me just clear up some stuff, because I know, Commissioner Lynch, you missed a meeting or two, that, because Mr. Hagan was here before, Dr. Taylor was here before, Mary Dickey was here before. I appreciate y'all coming again today, but this has been going on for quite some time concerning our overall water study and our overall utility/water district that the parish so desires. We've been working with Mr. Wilson on this, Ken Ward, Commissioner Smith, and in particular with the Natural Resources Committee, because Commissioner Smith is head of that. What can we do to provide water in the northern part of the parish, and in particular along the I-49 corridors? If y'all will remember, we did receive a grant. I can't remember exactly what it was, several $100,000. $700,000, Commissioner Lynch, to fund and lay water lines to Mr. Willie Washington's area, and that is corresponds with the Oil City project. Oil City stepped up to the plate and agreed to run the water lines so that the Willie Washington and his family could have, and all of those people out there, the 70-something homes, would have water. At the same time, this is going to get us water to I-49. They're going to do that. We're simply upgrading those lines from an 8-inch to a 12-inch line to realize that, according to Mr. Hagan, if I'm incorrect, let me know, that Oil City will be able to supply water to Willie Washington area. But for future growth along I-49, we're going to be in a mess when we need to upgrade those lines, and we need to do it now. Rather than 10 years from now, 5 years from now, we're going to go ahead and upgrade those lines from 8 to 12-inch line. This corresponds with the overall water study. So we're paying for the difference from 8 to 12 with regards to the Oil City project line. Also in the town of Vivian is running their line down Highway 170, which runs along and adjacent to the Ward 2 Industrial Park, to run water out to the I-49 area for future growth, businesses, houses, those type of things. The mayor there has a vision that growth will occur on I-49 and hopefully benefit the town of Vivian and also the Ward 2 Industrial Park. And again, to provide water, it needs for future growth, it needs to be a 12-inch line, and we're simply paying the difference from an 8 to a 12-inch line. I appreciate Mayor Taylor and Reverend Sims and Jimmy Hagan, Town Clerk. I appreciate y'all being here today. I hope each and every one supports this project. It's a wonderful thing that we can do to provide water to the northern part of the parishes. It's going to be able to hook or connect, hopefully, some of the other municipalities, Beldegill with Oil City, and maybe even the two together. It's really, really coming together for our overall water district at a lot of less cost than what we initially thought about several years ago when we were thinking about this. We're almost able to get the northern part of the parish water up in that area. So I hope we answered y'all's questions, because we've gone over this several times, and I'm just asking for everybody's support on this for you guys that weren't here. So I appreciate it.
Commissioner Escaday?
If what we're doing here is not legal, then I don't know anything of what the definition of it is. Since I've been back here in 2007, I've gone to D.C. almost every year along with Miss Lynch and Miss Baker, begging for, initially just for the water study that we've done with the former Shaw Group, I can't remember their name now, and Bossier Parish, begging for the money to do that. And then they couldn't give us the money to do that, so we finally decided to pay for it ourselves. And now we're halfway through the water study, and we'd continue to go to D.C. begging. They'd say, what are you going to need? We're going, well, maybe 350, 500 million, who knows. And now, for much less than that, and in line with the water study, it looks like we're going to be able to take care of a big chunk of that with a relatively small amount of money, because we're not going to get anything out of Washington anyway. They don't have it, or, you know, we're just not favorites. But what this really is, more than anything, is an economic development issue, and it's going to enhance the quality of life for everyone in the parish. We've been suffering from outward migration since 1980. All you got to do is look at the data. People leaving the city, leaving the parish. If they didn't fly over to Bossier, across the river, go over to Texas, a lot of them gone down the southern part of the parish, but down to DeSoto. And I've always wondered, why didn't they just move up north? There's a lot of land up there. It's real pretty up there and all. Well, there's been two probably major reasons, don't be quiet, why they didn't move up north. One is there's no water for real development, and hadn't been a big resource for it. And secondly, once you get a certain part of it, I'm up there all the time, it's two-way traffic. Well, all that's fixing to change. You got 4-lane traffic, 4-lane in Highway 1, I-49's coming through there, we've got water. Now, the state, in their wisdom and generosity, builds the interstate, and they grant the money for the water lines, 8-inch, which would probably serve a subdivision or something. They don't have enough wisdom to go ahead and pony up to put a proper line so that we can get water out to the I-49 interchanges. So once again, in this day of depleted resources, we're going to step up, and if we want it done, do it ourselves. So it's an opportunity for us. In 2007, had we had this opportunity, we wouldn't have had the money to do it, okay, because we don't have a special tax to do these kind of things. But what we're doing here is we're going to use part of the proceeds from our oil and gas revenue, which are our blessing from heaven, which belongs to all the people of this parish. It doesn't matter what end they live on, to take it to try to improve the quality of life for our citizens and create opportunity. Now, we get that water to these I-49 interchanges, they're going to open McDonald's and restaurants and maybe micro hotels and truck stops, okay? Well, we're going to get some return on that because our tax base is going to increase. The reason for voting and supporting the corridor study is to prevent businesses that we don't want from opening up next to those nice businesses on those interchanges. Leave that for, you know, the dirt roads, if there's still any out there. There's a few out there, but those need to be hidden if you're going to have them. It's also going to, since there's available water, and as business picks up out there, encourage residential development. People have reason to build homes up there and live up there because they will have the interstate, they will have businesses they've invested in, they will have all of these things. We want to stop our outward population migration or do something about it. Let's give them some nice place where they, you know, can go and they can live and they have stuff. So this is an opportunity to do that. They don't want to live in the city. I don't blame them. They don't want to live in the city. There's no reason they need to cross the parish lines. So these are going to fill all of these needs. So this is a big economic development project if you look at it in the scope of things. It's going to bring many, many returns to us in addition to all the traffic that will be coming through I-49, and the potential development can take place not just in businesses but, you know, with schools and everything else up there. And make this parish a better place and more attractive to live. There's an added advantage to it. It's also going to provide water, enough water to the northern part, cut across the Ward 2 Industrial Park up there, which is where it needs to be. And water is one of the big reasons we can't get a whole lot of interest in that park, because, I mean, we'd love to come here, but, you know, just trucking in water. So it takes care of so many things if you've been following this, and I know it's Doug's district, but I happen to have been doing a lot of work up there in the last 3 or 4 years, and I've seen it. And there's unlimited potential up there. And that should be an integral part of this parish, and we shouldn't refer to it as up north anymore, and maybe this interstate will connect us. But if we don't do this, you know, it's shame on us. But secondly, the last thing I want to say is the reason we can do this is because we have the blessings of the Haynesville Shale. Before, we couldn't do this, or any of the other projects that we're doing. Projects like a few years ago, increasing or enhancing the Greenwood Community Center, all the other things we do. You know, it doesn't really matter. Some things are important to some people. They may need a place for the old folks to hang out and play whatever they play. Some other people need water. Some people need meals. So this is a no-brainer. I'm going to support all of this, and I think if we live long enough, we're going to see big, big dividends pay off. And I think one day that's going to be one of the busiest parts of the South, that corridor coming there through 49. Thank you.
Commissioner Williams.
I think a lot's been said. I do know, Madam Chairman, that a lot of good ideas are destroyed by sloppy execution. And it's not proactive and wise when we don't plan for the future. I just want to commend this body for having the spirit to engage in conversation with the towns of Vivian and All City, because they are all part of the region and part of Caddo Parish. And we're all in this thing together, because I know that water connects with the poor, it connects with the wealth, it can connect with the middle class, it connects with the have, and it connects with the have-nots. So water is a connecting rod, connecting everybody together for North Shreveport, for the future development that's coming. It centers around economic development, because we're planning for the future of I-49. And we engage in some excitement up there in North Shreveport. And for the investment, we get a huge amount of return on our investment. Potential are so great I can't even count. Commercial development, residential development, maybe more schools coming, maybe more businesses coming. There is so much potential for North Shreveport, North Caddo, with all the I-49 people coming in your community. There'll be stores, there's going to be excitement up there. So I am really excited about the future, and I will be supporting this. But sometimes we have to overcome our own self-interest, be concerned about the people interest. And this is about the people. Because I know there have been times people vote against project that was good for the district, but they didn't support it. But that doesn't mean I have to do the same thing people done to me. We must rise above our own self-interest and do what's best for the people and stay in a position to do what's right. This is the right thing to do in 2013, and I'm excited about the wise infrastructure that's been done up here. That is the glue that holds us together. The thread and the woven that connects us together is our coming together for a common good. This is a common good, to develop the area that have not had the support and the help of Caddo in years. Our charter does provide for us to engage in intergovernment agreement, cooperative development agreement, partnership with municipalities. We have that authority in the charter to do that. And the question I asked in those meetings, I asked those questions about the maintenance of those things. Those questions were answered for me. But as Commissioner yesterday has said, we had the good fortune of the Lord to bless us with the oil and gas industry, and we returning that investment back into the community by making good, wise decisions about the taxpayers' money. And I think we're doing that. We need to do more projects like this in the future. Don't let the money just sit there. Reinvest it wisely, because that's why we're here, to make wise decisions about the tax. That's why they elected us. And so far, we have been doing a good job. And North Shreveport needs an upgrade. And what can be better in making these water mains better for the future? If we have to go back in the ground and dig them up, that don't make sense. That's not sloppy execution. So we need to make sure we do things right, decent and in order. We do it with character. We got to add a little swag. I just like to hope my colleague support this wise investment for economic development for our future, so we can bring jobs and growth and keep our children here. Our children come home, and hopefully those jobs won't have to leave, and they won't have to exit Caddo and Shreveport. So we all in this thing together. We need to act like it as elected officials and as people of this parish. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Mr. Cox.
Everything's been said, so I'll bypass.
Let's vote.
Let's vote. No.
I'm going to call for the question. My turn?
Do I need to pass my hat around red?
Commissioner Thibodeau.
As most of you know, I enjoy, or part of what I like to do is to compare the cost of a project to its potential benefit. And at looking at this particular, at all three of these these ordinances. I feel like when the time comes and I'm sitting in a nursing home somewhere trying to operate my computer to get the news or watching TV, that I'll sit there with a lot of pride and say, I was there when we did that for North Caddo. This is a little less than $1.5 million of expenditure, but this $1.5 million is going to fill in all the blanks, all the open spots that need to be filled in to give North Caddo a true, complete water system, not only for today, but for years to come. I'm trying to think of some other project that we've done in this commission where the cost benefit is great, and I can't think of one. To me, this is just, as they say, a no-brainer. You know, we said, just in conversation, when we got a large amount of this number, of this money from oil and gas, what are we going to do with all this money? And most of us agreed that whatever we do would affect a large number of people for a long time in either the whole parish or a large part of the parish. I think this definitely satisfies that, that concern. It will affect a lot of people and for many years. I hope that as we continue our water study, that we'll continue to move south, especially in the southwest part of the parish, because I think it's got the same potential for growth when water is out there as the northern part of the parish does. So I'm excited about this, and I think only good things are going to come out of it, and I would ask everyone to support it.
We got to go up there and drink water too, so we better.
Baptized. You may get baptized.
We got to test that water.
We're gonna get Commissioner Williams baptized.
Commissioner Lynch?
I just want to be clear that all of this is contingent upon whatever it is that you're working on, as far as the legalities, that this vote is contingent upon that, okay, the outcome of that. So I would like to have that paperwork when you all finish it. Thank you.
Commissioner Dominic?
Donna, do you think there's any problem? I think that anytime we do something is always contingent upon it being legal. We've sat down and met with both of the mayors on this issue. I think you've got everything pretty much worked out. Is that correct? I mean, do you see a problem with this?
The only problem will come in is if we can't get the numbers to mesh. And I'm still waiting on those. I don't think it would be fair for me to sit here and tell you that I know for sure that that's going to be correct. I anticipate that that will happen, but we still have some work to do.
Sounds just like growth.
No more discussion, please vote. That passes.
Next, we move to ordinance number 5338 of 2013, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures, oil and gas fund, capital outlay fund, in the amount of $612,000 for Vivian water
So
lines.
moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Lynn. Is there any discussion? If none, please vote. That passes. Next item.
Ordinance number 5339 of 2013, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for economic development fund and the oil and gas fund in the amount of $150,000 to fund the I-49 corridor land use study.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Lynn. Is there any discussion? If none, please vote. That passes. Next item.
Ordinance number 5340 of 2013, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Lynn, second by Commissioner Johnson. Is there any discussion? If none, please vote. Commissioner Dominic, that passes. Next item.
Ordinance number 5341 of 2013, to deem property surplus and authorize the sale of surplus property.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Lynn. Commissioner Lynch.
Yes, I had a question on the Econoline van. Does that have seats in it?
I believe it does. I haven't seen it firsthand, but usually they do have some seats in it, yes, ma'am.
Because I know we have some that have been gutted, and you know, they just use it to.
I'd have to double check, but I think it had seats. I think it had.
I would like to amend that motion to pull that Ford van the 1998 Ford E250 Econoline van. We had a request in the meeting earlier today from Commissioner Bowman. I believe it's a Salvation Army
Yes.
that was needing a van. And so
And Commissioner Williams had a request.
there's one van on here.
One at a time.
Infinite pool.
Okay then.
Only got one day.
Okay.
Oh, that was the only, that was the only, that was the only van.
We'll get you next.
They come up pretty regular.
We have a amendment.
I second her amendment.
Okay. So we need to vote on the amendment first. You have it?
Have substitute motion, yes.
Okay.
To remove that van.
Does he have the equipment?
And that passes. Next, we vote on the actual
Ordinance.
ordinance. That passes.
Let me know when you get another.
Next item.
Next, we move to zoning ordinances for introduction. Zoning case appeal P-1013 in regard to ordinance 5342 of 2013, A700 block of Simpson Road. Request to rezone property located beginning at the intersection of Simpson and Brosette on both east and west sides of Simpson Road, extending 2,600 feet north from RA to RMHS. The Metropolitan Planning Commission denied the applicant's request, and they are appealing this decision. Public hearing will be on the 17th of October. Zoning case appeal BAP 1212, property located at 3456 Villa Avenue on the west side end of Villa Avenue. Audra Jowers and Joey Corsentino applicants. This applicant was given a one-year extension. It ran out, and she's asking for another year extension. Public hearing will be on October 17th also. Next, we move to ordinances for introduction by title. Ordinance number 5343, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for the Economic Development Fund and Oil and Gas Fund in the amount of $500,000 to fund the Biomedical Research Foundation's Entrepreneurial Acceleration Program for the year 2013. Ordinance number 5344, 2013, to change the name of GM Boulevard to Antoine Boulevard. And ordinance number 5345, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus and authorize the parish administrator designate to sell tax interest. Next, we move to work session minutes.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Escudate. We approve the work session minutes. Is there any discussion? If none, please vote. That passes. Next item.
I believe we have accomplished our mission
Oh, that's
today.
it. Move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We got economic development.
Good job.
Mr. Cox, you
Yes.
want to say something?
Ma'am, I'll do it next meeting.
didn't get all those dates.
I'll do it next time. I need to talk to you, though.
The commissioner, I guess I can call.
Stop doing that on Sunday. I'll be at church.